So, Acho,
That's a real one.
was it time for Drew Brees to retire?
Sal, I'm going to say yes, it was. And there's so many layers here. Obviously, you're going to do a great job dissecting yours, so let me start dissecting mine.
Let's go.
What else does he have left to accomplish? Right? The only thing I think Drew Brees could have still accomplished was winning a Super Bowl, but I think he knew even better than we knew as analysts. He knew even better than we knew as personalities. Man, that's hard to do. Like, is he going to roll the dice out 365 more days of practice, preparation, and whatnot for the chance to maybe somehow, some way win a Super Bowl? Drew Brees, the all-time passing leader, done check that off. But then Tom Brady, he's going to continue to knock Drew Brees off in passing touchdowns, so you're not going to win that war. He looked himself in the mirror and said, you know what? The time is now. But, Sal, I like to dive in deep for the questions. I don't want to be lazy.
Go get your hair wet,
I don't want to be lazy with my dog Marcellus. You challenge me every day to be better. You went to Columbia. You challenged my intellectual capacities. So the question becomes, when you ask me, was it time for Drew Brees to retire, what are the implications of time if he doesn't retire? Time only matters if there's a negative attribute or side effect based upon your tardiness. You feel me? I had a dinner reservation last night, 5 p.m.
Where?
Some Thai place in the valley.
Man.
True story.
Oh, yeah, right.
True
PM
story. 5 p.m. So if I wasn't on time, they would cancel that reservation.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, because time then matters. Then what are the implications had Drew Brees not retired? And the implications are, hey, bruh, he was going to die a villain. What they say? What Batman say? You know the quote?
Either die a hero or you die a villain.
You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. The Saints have been really good with Drew Brees these last 4 years, but good is the enemy of great. So when you're asking me, was it time for Drew Brees to retire? Had Drew Brees not retired, what are the negative implications of that? And I think the negative implications were they still would have been close, scratching and clawing in the playoffs, a victory or two, but it was best that he ride off into the sunset as a hero because he was flirting.
Oh, really?
Flirting with being a villain.
Flirting. Oh, okay. You know I disagree with you. Adamantly, I disagree with you. And I did see you around 5-ish, 5:15, speeding past Panda Express. Like, that ain't no Thai restaurant with reservations. You up here lying big time. Okay, let me tell you why I disagree with you. One, because I've heard they, as DJ Khaled would say, tell people to retire before. They told Tom Brady, walk it off. How's that turned out? And Drew Brees is a person that no one should look at in terms of performance and in terms of just what he contributes to the game as a person that needs to walk it off. So no, this is not the time for Drew Brees to retire. You ball till you fall. And last time I checked, looking at the stats and looking at Drew Brees last year, he didn't fall. Like people are trying to advertise his decline. Matter of fact, Drew Brees' decline is still greater than the incline of some people we constantly talk about. Carson Wentz, we keep talking about him. Baker Mayfield, we keep talking about him. Even Jameis Winston, the new starter in New Orleans, all reports are indicating. As they're trying to climb the mountain, Drew Brees, where he is, even in the slight decline, is still higher than those same prospects. So let me bring this to you like it was brought to me.
Talk to me.
This situation is about 2 words. You ever see Baby Boy, the movie? Oh, damn! Boy, you are on fire. First of all, you could never cross Slauson around where I'm from because you ain't seen Baby Boy. It's about 2 words in Baby Boy. Melvin said this, guns and butter. But I ain't Melvin. I ain't Ving Rhames. It's about 2 words right there. Who and what? Okay, talk to me. All right, Drew Brees. Who is he now? And Drew Brees, what was he then?
Correct.
Let's talk about who he is now. 9-3 as a starter. Is that somebody you would ever... Forget the name on the back of the jersey. Forget the birth certificate. 9-3 as a starter. Should they retire? No, I didn't think so. 6th in quarterback rating. Should he retire? No, I don't think so. 70% completion percentage, second by only 200s. By 200s to Aaron Rodgers. Should he retire? Nope. 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Should he retire? Nope. Now, the one mark that everybody had against him this year was the air yards. I remember hearing Drew Brees in air yards. You Google it right now, you got pages on pages. You know he was still 13th in yards per attempt, and that was without Michael Thomas. So, no, this is not the time for Drew Brees to retire. So that's who he is now. But what was he? This is a guy that went to the paper bag franchise. You may be a little too young to remember the Saints fans always there, dressed in their proper attire with the paper bag on top, because they had no pride, not only in their organization, but being real, the city didn't have the same level of pride before Drew Brees arrived. So who is he? He's a championship quarterback that continuously puts you in contention with his championship attributes, his character first. The ultimate underdog who achieved so much that now people are saying those same expectations will crush him. Nah, Drew Brees, this ain't the time to retire, but I am not the man to tell the man it's time, but nobody else should.
That's fair. Let me push back. You gave so many great points, but you said Drew Brees got to ball till he falls. He did not fall, but he was falling.
That's not the saying. It's not balling till you fall in.
But he was falling himself. This actually happened. I hate, honestly, when so many true stories align if they're negative. Bro, I'm sitting at a friend's house yesterday, and we're playing a card game.
Before or after tie?
After the Thai food.
Oh, it went well.
I went to Thai food at 5.
It went well.
There were 5 people there. There was no it
Ooh,
going
you
well.
that type, huh?
Calm down. So now look, I'm scooting my chair forward to get closer to the board game, and all of a sudden my friend goes, "Oh, no!" And I was like, "What?" Next thing you hear, a vase fell on the ground behind me. I'm like, why didn't you just tell me so I could turn around and catch it? She said this, because it was already falling. It was going to crash eventually. I could have tried to save it, but it was going to crash regardless. So Drew Brees, you could try to save him, but he's falling. Let me tell y'all why. In football terms, no longer in story form. 2018, we know there was the Figment BSPI call and the Saints really mad because the Rams won that game.
Yeah.
But remember that game went in overtime and Drew Brees had a first possession turnover, so the Rams got the ball, never give it back to the Saints, and the Rams go on to win the game. Okay, 2019, Saints, y'all are at home against the Minnesota Vikings, who are underwhelmed compared to y'all, Saints. Drew Brees, second quarter, turnover, Vikings go down, get a field goal, take a halftime lead, 13-10. Fourth quarter, Drew Brees turnover, he fumbles the ball, now the game goes into overtime. Drew Brees never sees the ball again. Okay, Sal, let's talk 2020 playoffs against the Buccaneers. Drew Brees, the worst passer rating of his playoff career, worst passing yards of his career, and 3 interceptions, a career high in the playoffs. He may not have fallen, but he was surely falling. So you might be like, hey, he ain't hit the ground yet. But come on, Sal, he already on the way down. You gonna see the crash. I don't want to have to sweep up the broken glass after the vase shattered like I had to yesterday. Don't sweep up Drew Brees' mouth.
Hold on, no. You can't compare Drew Brees against Drew Brees and then say that's a bad thing. Because Drew Brees changed the expectations so much from the paper bag franchise that it's amazing now you're going to use those same expectations against him.
I have to.
But hold on. But it still means he's great. Like, Drew Brees is still a great quarterback. Elite, maybe, elite-ish, but certainly great. Hold on. Acho, that's the worst suit I've seen you wear in the last 3 weeks. Still a good damn suit. But you know what? It's the worst suit you done wore in the last few weeks. That's how you sound when you talk about, well, Drew Brees had his worst in his career. Have you seen his career?
Okay, let me hit you where it hurts. America, I got to hit Marcellus where it hurts. Track and field.
Damn you.
Because Marcellus knows about this track and field. 2017 World Championships, I was there. It was in London in some great stadium, about 60,000 people pre-COVID. Oh, what a time. Now, there's a man by the name of Usain Bolt. You know Usain Bolt. You know of his accolades. I do. You don't even have to be a track fan. Usain Bolt, fastest man to have ever lived. Ever. Jesus. But all of a sudden, Usain Bolt, who we're used to seeing get gold medals for those that don't know track and field at all, first place in the 100 meters and 200 meters. So he came up in third at the 2017 World Championships. Now, he ran a 9.95. Again, for those that don't know quantifications, under 10 seconds in the 100. Not many people.
Man, under 11 in 100. You ain't ran it.
Me either. So he ran a 9.95. Should you retire based upon that?
No.
No, not a chance.
I like.
But Usain Bolt said, wait a second. I got third for the first time on a global stage in ever since I was 18 years old. I'm 30 now. In track and field, that's old. A 9.95 for some people might be good, but I'm on my way down. I'm going to hang it up now because my best days are behind me. You got to compare Usain to Usain like you have to compare Drew Brees to Drew Brees. Drew Brees' best days are behind him, big dog. I had to hit you in the track and field spot because I know that's where you're most sensitive, right? You got some muscles now, but I know that soft spot is still track and field. I had to attack.
Okay, I like that. That's a good comeback because I thought I had you on the deck. I heard it wasn't a standard 8 count. It was a 9. And I was like, he popped up Hulk Hogan style. Okay. Let me tell you this, though. I don't know what calculation Usain Bolt was running, but maybe he ran this calculation. I am not willing to work to the level it takes to get me back to where I was. Where Drew Brees has never had that conversation or has never been told or has ever suggested he's not willing to work. So that's not the same. Even though that's a perfect example, it just doesn't perfectly fit with Drew Brees. Drew Brees is this. Drew Brees is not in no situation where it's like, I'm really falling off. Number one passer rating in NFL over the last 4 seasons belongs to who?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. In your example, it wouldn't be that for Usain Bolt. It would be a couple years, and then this year is number 2, 3, 4, et cetera. Only quarterbacks with 30 or more starts that went out there and had a better win percentage than Drew Brees: Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. This is recent. I'm not talking about historical. I'm not going to give you he's number 1 all time in passing yards and second in passing yards. That's boring. Let's talk about right now. Since 2018, since you want to bring up Usain Bolt in 2017, no quarterback has led his team to more points per game. No quarterback than Drew Brees. 31.8 points a game. You know who's second? Patrick Mahomes. Hey, big dog, this is not that. Let me help you out. Let me give you some game, since obviously you went to Thai. You were late to the Thai restaurant. Then you went home, broke some vases. Vases, probably because you're big time now. But the point of it is, you try to tell me y'all start playing board games. Sound like she was bored with your game. Now, how the hell you gonna go to a Thai restaurant running late because she probably still doing her makeup? I'm coming at you. No?
Who said it was a she?
You said it was a she. I can run a tape back. I listened to those parts. Was it a she?
There were 4 other people there.
Well, she, man. I see you, Acho. Anyway, I'm going to let that go. Here's the point. Give me an example of another quarterback who has fallen from number 1, number 2 to number 5, and then all of a sudden that guy should be told to retire, forgetting the other 27 starters that still can't even get up to his bumper.
So let's do this, because you want to sit here and tango in this one lane. And can we move to the HOV lane? Let's move to a humane lane, if we shall. If I were to ask you, Sel, what has been the highlight thus far of your 2021 year?
This year?
This year.
My daughter getting into Columbia.
Beautiful. It was something familial.
Yes.
Daughter getting into Columbia.
Yes.
It may have been, I know you had an outing during our off week, your wife and yourself went out for the first time.
We went to the Waldorf.
Yeah, I knew that was a high for you.
Bathed me thoroughly.
Something familial. But Marcellus, Drew Brees, didn't he suffer fractured ribs this year?
That was last year, 2020. Yeah, but I'm with you. Yeah, this season, right? Okay.
Because Drew Brees is also thinking about the humane element. Your high wasn't working. I love working with you. You appreciate to a degree working with me. But when I asked you, hey, what was your highlight of 2021? It had nothing to do with speak. It had nothing to do with this test. It had to do with your daughter. It had to do with your wife.
I'm
it had
selfless.
to do with your family.
Yes.
Drew Brees is also counting the cost. Wait a second, man. I got fractured ribs.
11.
I can't even laugh when my kids make a joke. Ain't no daddy, come pick me up. Ain't no dad, can we throw the ball in the back? Ain't none of that. Drew Brees the year before, torn ligament in his thumb. Dad, can we play catch? Ain't none of that. Drew Brees is also factoring in the humane elements. You and I can sit here and we can pound our head against the pavement of the football talk, and that is a degree. It's a sport, so that's what we should do. But what we can also take fans, viewers into the mind of is, your highlights, big dog, ain't having nothing to do with work. My highlights of this year, no, mine have to do with work. I don't have much of a social life. But your highlights ain't got nothing to do with work. It has to do with your family. Yeah. Drew Brees is also counting the cost, man. He's been hurt, Marcellus. For 14 straight years, he played 15 or more games. The last 2 years, he played 11 games and 12 games. Physically, he's deteriorating. Time to retire.
It's not time. Beautiful example once again. Doesn't fit perfectly with Drew Brees once again. Because one, Drew Brees, who you're chasing or who you're in competition with in terms of just the stats and the categories of greatness, Tom Brady's still playing. He old as hell, too. Older than you. So don't give me this whole, it's just exclusively about time and my birth certificate. I just got into a car accident. I ain't even tell you about it. Yeah, I did. Not the one of he down. He been down for a month. Gonna be down for another month. 2 months gone. Yeah, your boy got a little fender bender.
Whose fault was it? Whose fault was it?
Me, because I was the only one I hit. Me and the wall. I can't blame the wall. It was me. I'll give you details later. Anyway, here's the point. You know what I did after that accident?
Cried, obviously.
You know me, I teared up quick because I thought I was going to miss everything. Oh, my God, my family, everything. I was really in shock. Like, yo, it's that fast. It can happen. But you know what I did after I got home? Called the people, AAA, come pick up the truck, blah, blah, blah. Told my daughter, can I borrow your car? And I kept going. I kept pushing. I got back on the road. Drew Brees, you talking about, oh, my ribs, oh, my finger. Hey, man, them kids still going to be there. Get your ass back in the car and get back on the road. Continue being the father you are, but continue being the great player that you are. This is not the time to tell a great that he should go just because he's not as great, because he's still great. That's the problem here. Usain Bolt should have heard that. Maybe I should have talked to you, Usain Bolt. Would have fixed him. He'd still be running.